everyone! Today I'm going to teach you how to make a simple and beautiful thank you card using pressed flowers and deckled edge paper. All you're going to need is glue, deckled edge paper, pressed flowers, tweezers, and at the end, a bit of chiffon to tie it all together. Let's get started. I'm going to put the leaves and flowers down first, see how they look, and then I'm going to glue them once I like what I see. So I'm going to start with these Japanese anemone leaves and then add 2 Japanese anemone blossoms that I pressed. They hadn't even bloomed yet. And then I'm going to add a rose on top. Ooh, okay, that's cute. So I am going to do this and commit to it. You have to be very careful when gluing them. You don't want to rip them. You want to be very gentle, but you want to make sure the glue gets on the leaf. I'm just going to press it down, make sure it's in the location that I like, and start again with the next leaf. Just a quick note on deckled edge paper. If you don't know how to create it, I'll leave a link in the description to an older video where I teach you step by step how to create deckled edge paper. In that video, it's also a 2-for-1, yay! And I will also teach you how to create that lovely ivory vintage color that you see in this video. Ooh, okay, so far, so good. Look how beautiful this is. Let's start with the bottom. I have a more elaborate idea for the bottom. I'm going to create a little flower arrangement, if you will, at the bottom. Oh my gosh, does anyone else get this excited about crafts? And just think, if you make thank you cards for your wedding using pressed flowers, you can do this again and again and again. So I'm just going to map this out here first, just to make sure I like the pressed flower placement before I actually commit to gluing them. So these are rose leaves here. This is another Japanese anemone leaf. And then these are hydrangea flowers. Then I'm going to use these Japanese anemone blossoms. And I have some dried lavender and some dried feverfew. In general, I think this is really pretty. So I'm going to get started on it and then let the glue do the talking. So let's start with the rose leaves. The first thing I did was glue rose leaves in the shape of a U in the bottom left-hand corner to soften up that 90-degree angle of the corner. After that, I fit in an anemone leaf right in that corner to fill that space so it didn't look empty. After that, I placed the lavender flowers, and then after the lavender flowers were glued, I grabbed the hydrangeas and started to fit them in for texture. Those hydrangea flowers gave me a bit of a hard time. They would not stay glued down. I think it was because of the texture of the hydrangea versus the anemone leaf. They just don't mesh well together. So that is something to keep in mind, that certain flowers do not glue well on other flowers, and you have to just learn that by rote. After that, I glued on the anemone blossoms. I was a bit rough with them and ended up breaking one of the blossoms off of the stem. That's okay, I still glued it on and it still looked beautiful. So if that happens to you, do not worry. After that, I put the feverfew flowers in the shape of a triangle and fit the rose in the center of all those flowers for the final touch. Okay, it's so beautiful. So far, this is our card, but we are also going to add a little extra something. This piece of deckled edge paper, which has been dyed and deckled edged. And we are going to glue that into not quite the center, because I feel like the center, see, if I try to put it in the center, that's not where it wants to be. It will create a little interest visually, and that's where the flowers ended up being placed around, so I think it makes sense to add the little thank you there. Also, if you didn't want to do a thank you card and you wanted a birthday card, you could also write happy birthday. And I put a period at the end because I felt like that was very formal thank you card. Okay, let's glue that on. When I glue things, paper specifically, I always glue around the edge and create an X. I learned that from my mom when I was little, and it has served me ever since. So I'm just going to glue that thank you on there. Guys, I love it. It's so pretty. We're almost done. So close to our final product. The last step will be to grab some chiffon. Let's just like gauge out where we think it would be pretty. I think the center of the bow should be up on this top left corner because there is a little bit of space there. And I just want to create a little knot. Oh gosh. So, our final thank you card product. So pretty! I actually really love this. Oh man. I think I'm gonna turn this into a beautiful happy birthday card after this for my mom's birthday. If you don't have these specific flowers, that's totally fine. You can press any number of flowers. Like the center here would have looked just as pretty with a little daisy in the center. Or you could use a Japanese anemone instead. I mean, maybe that would have been a bit big, but we would have dealt with that. But I went with the roses because it felt very vintage, very elegant, very classic. So that's what I did. If you would like to see more videos like this, let me know and I will make a follow-up video with some different ideas for a pressed flower card. All of these ideas were original, so you know that if you follow this, that you are getting a very original idea for your thank you cards that I'm not sure that many people would be pursuing. Did it take a long time? Yes, it took maybe 15-20 minutes, but I bet you would get faster as you went along. And also, if you had some people to help you, that this would go a lot quicker. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Before I forget, I will do a future video where I show you how to make the pressed flowers. It's really easy. You can either get a pressed flower kit or you can press flowers in a book, a heavy book. Anyways, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. All right.